Hey everybody, back with another chapter of The Art of Survival by Eric Ballard, and this chapter is called Change of Plans. And again, these guys are hiking through the Appalachian Trail that is going through the state of Georgia, and they're wanting to hike the entire state. But one of the guys comes back and he says, I think we should do something different. And I want to read what he says here. I believe we should alter our plans. I don't think we should try to hike the whole Georgia section of the Appalachian Trail. What he goes on to say is that they don't need to rush through this hiking trip. They need to take their time. Again, he just had some alone time in nature with he and God, and he kind of had the revelation of, let's just be out here and enjoy God's creation, and let's take our time and let's hike for as long as we feel like we need to, but it doesn't have to be the entire section of the trail in Georgia. One of the guys, he's thinking about how he kind of fits into God's story. He's asked and is talking to himself, and he says, I'm searching for how I fit into the meeting. How does God want to use me? How can I live in a way that would be most honoring to God? And, the chapter talks about adapting to the situation, the survival tips that he provides here. He talks about being flexible. While in the wilderness, survival situations can arise at any time to anyone. You may be having a certain plan, but then things change because, there's a tree in your way and you really, you can't go that way anymore, or there's a creek the creek is higher than you expected it to be. Basically, you got to learn to adapt and be flexible. He also says, always constantly reevaluate your situation. Your priorities and urgencies tend to change often in survival situations. Maybe you need to get someplace, that's most priority than stopping and eating something. Maybe eating is more important than trying and getting somewhere. Getting away from danger is more important than setting up a place to sleep that night. Adapt to your situation. And the verses that he uses, Proverbs 21, verse 2, a person may think their own ways are right, but the Lord weighs the heart. And again, we have a certain way that we want to live. And the things that we are wanting to do, we like to control. But God has other plans for us, and so we need to be flexible. We need to adapt. We need to learn to know that the way that we think things should go is probably not the best way, and it may not happen the way that we think it's going to happen. God may call us to do something that we're not comfortable with, and he may ask us to do something that is difficult for us, but when we learn to trust in God and his ways, then things are going to be better. And the questions that he asks here at the end, how often do you simply just ask God, what do you want for me to do today? Would this be a beneficial exercise to practice? And should we ask God for guidance in every decision that we make, or only major decisions, or only minor decisions? Is there a balance between? Basically, we need to ask God for guidance. And so if we're struggling with, or just curious, what does God want me to do? How do I fit into this? How can I use the things that God has given me to reach out to people, to live the way that he wants me to live? Well, we got to ask him, and just be ready, be flexible, be ready to maybe change the way that you are approaching different things, your perspective, and just learn to trust God and to be flexible in those things.